Did you see that person's outfit? Yeah, it's inappropriate to wear training wear on a class observation day. Maybe his wife and husband are unemployed. I feel sorry for their child. Even if they are unemployed, they should wear something other than training wear at least on a class observation day. It's embarrassing for an adult. As soon as I entered the classroom, the parents who saw my outfit whispered behind my back. Don't mind it, don't mind it. I told myself that and walked on. If they knew who I was, they wouldn't be able to say anything. My name is Michelle Brown and I'm 39 years old. I live with my husband and daughter. Jessica, my daughter, has been going to elementary school since April this year. It's amazing how fast time flies when your child grows up so quickly. My husband and I got married in our early 20s, but we were unable to have children for a long time. Jessica is the child we were finally able to conceive after going through difficult infertility treatments. In the city, it's not uncommon to give birth in your 30s, but in the area where I live, many women give birth in their 20s. The place where I live now is not my hometown, so I don't know many people. I'm much older than the mothers of Jessica's friends. It seemed even more difficult to make mom friends in an environment where it was difficult to make friends of the same age. However, even if I didn't have mom friends, it would be fine as long as Jessica could have fun at school. One night while preparing dinner, Jessica handed me a piece of paper. Here. I got this at school today. Mr. Clark told me to give this to either dad or mom. Really? Thank you. It was a notice of a class observation day. The date was 3 weeks later at 2 p.m. When I checked my schedule book, it was my day off from work. I'll go to the class observation day. It'll be fun. Mom will come? Yay! Jessica jumped up and down happily. I've been doing my best at child rearing, but because of my busy work schedule, I couldn't participate in kindergarten events very much. This class observation day is Jessica's first school event. It's probably prohibited, but I want to take videos and photos on that day. I found a handwritten comment from the teacher at the bottom of the notice paper. It seems that we have to prepare various things before the class observation day. I pinned the notice paper on the corkboard and resumed cooking dinner. Well, before I knew it, it was the day of the class observation day. I headed for Jessica's classroom. The other mothers had perfect hairstyles and makeup and were wearing beautiful clothes. On the other hand, I was wearing a training wear set. My hair was in a ponytail and I wasn't wearing any makeup. It was supposed to be a holiday, but due to an urgent situation where I had to go to work, I rushed there without having time to dress up properly. This was more convenient for me since this is what I usually wear and considering today's event. When I opened the door of the classroom and entered inside, Jessica smiled at me happily. The teacher wasn't there yet. While walking towards a place where Jessica's seat could be seen well, other parents looked at me with suspicious eyes. Probably because of my outfit. Don't mind it, don't mind it. I told myself that and walked on. There were class goals, menus for school lunches, pictures drawn by children on the walls of the classroom. It was almost exactly the same scene as when I was an elementary school student myself. The parents were talking with their close friends one after another. Since it was a small classroom, even if you didn't want to hear Ms. Anderson and Ms. Moore's conversation, those who were close to me naturally entered my ears. I'm pretty sure both of them are PTA officers. Did you see that person's outfit? Yeah. It's inappropriate to wear training wear on a class observation day. Maybe his wife and husband are unemployed. I feel sorry for their child. Even if they are unemployed, they should wear something other than training wear at least on a class observation day. It's embarrassing for an adult. Hey. Ms. Moore. Your voice is too loud. She might hear you. Ms. Anderson is too worried about it. It doesn't matter what unemployed people think of us. And I didn't say anything wrong. The bad-mouthing from the two parents was naturally hurtful, but I ignored it. If I reacted here and started arguing with them, it would ruin the atmosphere of the entire classroom. Above all, I didn't want to show Jessica any adult ugliness. It's a little more until the start of class. Mr. Clark, the homeroom teacher, hasn't arrived yet. The chime rang and the scattered children began to sit in their seats. Jessica, who had been playing with her friends, sat in her seat and turned around to wave at me with a smile. When I see that child smile, I feel like I can do my best no matter what happens. At the same time as the chime, Mr. Clark appeared. Then, Ms. Moore walked between the children's desks and approached Mr. Clark. "Mr. Clark, do you have a moment before class starts?" "What's wrong, Ms. Moore?" "It's hard to talk inside the classroom, so let's go to the hallway." Even when Ms. Moore and Mr. Clark went out into the hallway, their conversation was clearly audible. "Did you see one of the parents wearing training wear? She looks like an unemployed person." "No, I just entered the classroom a little while ago because I was busy preparing for class." "That person standing at the back." Ms. Moore pointed at me from the hallway and continued. "I know there is no dress code for class observation day. However, if you have common sense, there should be no choice but to wear something other than training wear." She seems to have considerable disgust towards me. When Mr. Clark looked in the direction Ms. Moore was pointing at, he seemed to have found me. "Mr. Clark, are you listening to me? Anyway, as a PTA officer and as an individual, I cannot forgive parents who come to class observation day in training wear. Can you tell her to go home?" After freezing for a moment while looking at my face, Mr. Clark turned pale and said, "Ms. Moore, that person is not an unemployed person but a business owner with an annual income of $10 million. The word annual income of $10 million immediately caught children's attention and caused a stir in the classroom. In contrast to the children, parents were unresponsive. Moreover, many parents were smiling thinly. Mr. Clark looked awkwardly and glanced at me. "Mr. Clark, isn't there some kind of mistake? I can't see someone wearing training wear as a business owner with an annual income of $10 million. Ms. Moore, please believe me. She is really a splendid business owner." Ms. Moore did not listen and repeatedly expressed her opinion to Mr. Clark. Ms. Anderson, who was watching her anxiously, went out into the hallway. She might be supporting Ms. Moore. The children started playing around because class didn't start easily. Parents warned children instead of Mr. Clark. It's a shame that time passes by with trivial things even though it's a valuable class observation day. I gathered my courage and called out Mr. Clark's name in a loud voice. "Mr. Clark." Mr. Clark popped his head out of the hallway and looked at me in surprise. "If we continue like this, we will run out of class time. Could you please start teaching soon for the sake of children?" "Yes, you're right. Excuse me for that. Ms. Moore, could you please talk after class?" Although Ms. Moore didn't seem satisfied with this decision, she reluctantly returned to the classroom. "Everyone, take your seats. Let's start class." Everyone who is here is a parent. Sorry for keeping you waiting." Finally, class started. "Everyone thinks that I'm going to teach today? Actually, I'm not going to teach today." The children began to make noise all at once, saying why. Jessica also looked at Mr. Clark curiously. "Because we have invited a special lecturer." "Oh, special lecturer means a special teacher." Both children and parents' expressions changed excitedly. "Let me introduce her. Our special lecturer is Ms. Brown. Ms. Brown, please come here." I walked towards the whiteboard. When I saw Jessica's surprised face, I couldn't help but smile. I could hear the parents' commotion from behind. I wrote my name on the blackboard and began my self-introduction. "Hello everyone. I'm Michelle Brown, Jessica's mother, sitting over there. Has anyone seen the gym next to the park where we hang out? I run 6 gyms including that one." Explaining my job to first graders was a difficult task. I had prepared in advance, but I ended up using words that children didn't know. However, thanks to the children's honest reactions, I was able to quickly modify difficult words into simpler ones. I talked about how I was the vice president and my husband was the president. I also talked about how our gyms produced instructors, trainers, and sports doctors. Then, a child sitting in the front asked me why I wanted to run a gym. My older brother used to be a soccer player. He was very good at soccer, but he suffered a major injury. The children immediately asked why. The soccer coach taught my brother the wrong practice method. As a result, both of his kneecaps were broken. After that, my brother quit soccer. The children's reactions varied from shouting, "Poor brother," to getting angry and saying, "The coach is terrible," or asking their classmates, "What are kneecaps?" That's why I want to give correct knowledge to people who aspire to be coaches. My gym is not only a place for training but also a place for taking classes. After finishing my self-introduction, I could finally get to the point. Everyone, do you know why I'm wearing training wear? Can you guess what it means? Let's do some simple exercises while standing. I made the children stand up and explained joints and muscles while moving our bodies together. Be careful not to bump your arms with your neighbor. The children enjoyed exercising happily. The parents in the back were watching them warmly. If your arms are getting tired, raise your hand. Most of the children raised their hands. Congratulations to those who raised their hands. Being tired is proof that you did your training correctly. I made the children sit back in their seats and talked about the importance of having correct knowledge of their bodies and the benefits of moving their bodies. Everyone listened seriously to what I said, and some even took notes in their free notebooks. Maybe that child will become a trainer someday. We were able to finish class just in time, and I breathed a sigh of relief. "Thank you very much, Ms. Brown," said Mr. Clark. "Everyone, let's thank her too. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All of the children said, "Thank you very much," and clapped for me. I felt very proud. Although I had some experience as a lecturer at seminars before, it was my first time teaching children at school, so I was nervous. But it seems like it was successful. After class ended, some children ran up to me with sparkling eyes and said, "Jessica's mom is amazing." So cool. I was happy to hear honest feelings from children. Jessica also seemed happy with envious eyes from her classmates. In the past, balancing work and child rearing was more difficult than I had imagined, and there were many times when I wanted to quit my job. Many mothers around me work part-time or are housewives. However, I wanted Jessica to see her mother working hard. That's why I worked hard with that in mind. I felt like my efforts had paid off. My choice wasn't wrong after all. When I was erasing my name from the blackboard, I overheard a conversation between Ms. Moore and her son. "Mom, you were so loud before class started. Your voice could be heard throughout the classroom. You were talking bad about Jessica's mom, weren't you?" "I'm sorry. I didn't know what today's class was about." "Why can't you wear training wear?" "You can wear training wear." "But, none of the other moms or dads in the classroom were wearing training wear, right?" "But Mom, you always tell me not to judge people by their appearance, right?" Ms. Moore was stammering and trying to laugh it off. "I don't want to be like a person like you." Richard left the classroom after throwing away such a line. Children are so pure and cruel. Ms. Anderson is comforting Ms. Moore, who doesn't have the energy to chase after Richard. The two of them just nodded at me and left without saying anything. "Ms. Brown, thank you very much for your busy schedule today. It was a wonderful class." It was a great idea to ask Ms. Brown to be a special lecturer. No, I'm grateful for giving me such a valuable experience. I'm sorry that we didn't inform all parents in advance about today's class content and made you feel uncomfortable. I don't mind, so it's okay. Thank you for your hard work today too, teacher. There are many parents here, so it must be tough for you too. Well, dealing with parents is also one of the teacher's jobs. I talked with Jessica for a while and left the classroom. When I was walking near the school gate, a woman talked to me. I didn't remember her at all, but she was the mother of a girl in Jessica's class who apparently saw my class earlier. She praised my class excitedly. Coincidentally, since our houses were close by, we decided to walk home together. In our conversation, I found many things in common with her and couldn't hide my surprise. We had the same hobbies, favorite foods, and hometowns. We immediately hit it off and exchanged contact information before parting ways that day. When I told Jessica about this later when we got home from school, it seemed that the children had been friends even before their mothers met. After that, we became friends with her family as well. We plan to have a barbecue at her house next week. She is also inviting her close mom friends and their families. I might make new mom friends too. I couldn't suppress my excitement and searched for local beer to bring to the barbecue on my computer when Jessica poked me with her finger. What's wrong? Jessica smiled but didn't answer. What? Why are you laughing? Jessica gave me the best words while blushing. Mom is my favorite mom. What? Suddenly? But thank you. I'm happy. Mom loves you. Jessica hugged me tightly with her small arms. I love Jessica, too. I stroked Jessica's head while holding back tears. Thanks to Jessica, I felt like I could charge up my energy. That night, I fell asleep happily thinking about next week's barbecue while searching for local beer on my computer to bring along.